Dear students, please take your first volume mathematics book and go to page number 221. Theorem 3, first derivative test. Now, there are two derivative tests which are first derivative test and second derivative test in order to find the maximum and minimum values. These are all based on the slopes of, that is sine of the slopes what we have obtained. Now, based on this test, let f be a function defined on an open interval I and f be continuous at a critical point C in I. The critical point is where the derivative is 0 for some value for x, let x equal to C. At f of C, the derivative is 0, that is f dash of C equal to 0. Then there are 3 points given. First one, if f dash of x changes sign from positive to negative as x increases through C, that is if f dash of x is positive greater than 0 at every point sufficiently close to the left of C and f dash of x is less than 0 at every point sufficiently close to and to right of C, then C is a point of local maxima. Now, let me explain this point by taking a sine wave. You know the sine curve is like this. So, this is x axis and this is y axis. This is 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, etc. Now, here in this curve, the part from 0 to pi by 2, it is an increasing function. As x, the function is increasing as x increases. For every increment in x, the function also getting its maximum value. Let C be the point at pi by 2, where the derivative attains its maximum. It is positive, and from this point C till pi, the slope is negative because it is a decreasing function. So, based on our first point, that is if f dash of x is greater than 0, every point sufficiently close and left to the C, and f dash of x is less than 0, that is negative at every point sufficiently close to and right of C, that is right of C, then the C is called local maximum. Here obviously you can understand that the point has the maximum value of 1. So, sin pi by 2 equal to 1, at C it obtains the maximum value. Similarly, in the second point, if f dash of x changes sign from negative to positive as x increases, here the x is continuously increases throughout its domain, and we have the negative to positive as x increases through C, and if f dash of x is negative, so the slope is negative from pi to 3 pi by 2. Let the 3 pi by 2 at the point in the curve, let the point is C at x equal to 3 pi by 2. Now, from pi to the point C, the slope is decreasing, that is negative, and from C to 2 pi, the curve is increasing because the slope is positive. And what they say, f dash of x is less than 0 at every point sufficiently close to and left to the C, and f dash of x is greater than 0 at every point sufficiently close to and to the right of C, then C is a point of local minima. Here you can clearly observe the point at C, it has the minimum value minus 1. So, it is a local minimum and it is called local maximum. And there is one third point. If f dash of x does not changes its sign as x increases through C, now there is a point, consider a curve y equal to x cube, it is a cubical parabola, and there is a point C where the derivative is 0, that means dy by dx equal to 3x square and dy by dx equal to 0 as x equal to 0. So, here the point is 0 at x equal to 0, but here the function is increasing everywhere, but even though at the derivative is 0, the curve is does not changes its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative. Such a point is called point of inflection, that is the curve changes its nature from concave downward to concave upward. Here from C to left C, the curve is concave downward, and from C to right C, observe that it is concave upward. So, that point where it changes its nature from concave downward to concave upward is called point of inflection. That is the third point mentioned here. Now, if f dash of x does not change the sign as x increases through C, and C is neither the point of local maximum and nor the local minimum, it is not the point of attaining either local maximum or local minimum, and this point is called point of inflection. Now, theorem 4, the second derivative test. Let f be a function defined on an interval I and C belongs to I. Let f be twice differentiable at C. Then x equal to C is a point of local maxima, and f dash of C equal to 0 and f double dash of C equal is less than 0. The value of f of C is local maximum value of f. So, this also can be examined by the same curve. Now, here see the slope from the first part is increasing, therefore, the first derivative dy by dx is greater than 0. At one point, the sign changes from positive to negative, therefore, at the point C, the derivative dy by dx or f dash of x equal to 0. So, wherever the real line changes from negative to positive, there exists one isolated point, that is minus 2 plus means there exists one point where the value is 0. Similarly, the slope increasing and after up to one point, and after that point the slope is decreasing, I mean the function is decreasing, therefore, at that point the derivative is 0. So, this point is called critical point, and see the first derivative is positive until it gets 0, after that the second derivative is negative. So, where the second derivative is negative and dy by first derivative equal to 0 is called the local maximum point, and the value at that point is, that is f of C is the point value is a local maximum value, local maximum value. Similarly, now the dy by dx is decreasing, that is negative up to one point, at that point dy by dx equal to 0, and gradually the second derivative, this is the first derivative and the second derivative is from pi to, that is C to 2 pi, it is d square y by dx square or f double dash of x is greater than 0. So, if a function first decreases then increases means at one point it should be 0, and the second derivative is greater than 0 shows the point where the derivative is 0 is the local minimum point. Here the point is local minimum point, and at that point f of C is the local minimum value, local minimum value. Now, there is one more point. The test fails if f dash of C equal to 0, that means if the f dash of C equal to 0 and second derivative f double dash of C is also 0, the second derivative test fails only in the case the second derivative is 0. There is a point that second derivative 0, but in this case we have to go back to the first derivative test, I mean examining the nature of the slope of the curve function, and find whether C is a point of local maxima or local minima or maybe a point of inflection. Okay, thank you. Now, using the second derivative test, we are going to solve the problems finding local maximum and minimum. Now, local maxima and minima. But even though you have studied theorem, but let us reform it by working rule. Now, working rule. This working rule will help you to solve the problems based on this method, working rule. Now, first differentiate f once, put f dash of x or dy by dx equal to 0 for critical numbers, numbers. That means let y equal to f of x be the function, given function. You have to differentiate this function once first, then equate that derivative to 0, that is either f dash of x equal to 0 or dy by dx equal to 0. So, you can obtain some value, that is 1 or more than 1 values. Now, again differentiate again. Now, differentiate again. Now, substitute third one, substitute critical number or numbers in second derivative, that is f double dash of x or d square y by dx square. Now, the condition starts. If d square y by dx square or f double dash of x is greater than 0, then C is the point of local maxima, local minima, and f of C is the local minimum value, Likewise, if f double dash of x or d square y by dx square is less than 0. Now, d square y by dx square or f double dash of x is less than 0, then C is the point of local maxima, and f of C here is the local maximum value. Now, if the third case, if f double dash of x equal to 0, then the second derivative test fails. According to the theorem, third point, the second derivative test fails. So, we have to go back to the first derivative test. There we can find it attains the maximum or local minimum or point of inflection by examining the sign of the gradient. Okay. So, keep it in mind. So, this is the procedure for finding the local maximum minimum. Let us solve the problems related to the local maximum and minimum. Then later we can find absolute maximum minimum using the first derivative test. Now, exercise 6.5, question number 3. We have already solved some of the subdivisions in the question 1 and 2. The remaining I left you as an homework. Now, let me solve some of the subdivisions given in the 3. Now, first one, given f of x equal to x square. Based on the 7 derivative test, find f dash of x. Now, f dash of x equal to 2x and put f dash of x equal to 0, f dash of x equal to 0, so that 2x equal to 0 or x equal to 0. So, x equal to 0 is a critical number. The only critical number we obtained here is x equal to 0. Now, differentiate again. Now, differentiating again, we have second derivative f double dash of x equal to 2, which is a positive quantity. That means 2 is a greater than 0. Since the second derivative is positive or greater than 0, the point, since f double dash of x is greater than 0, the critical number x equal to 0 is a local minimum. Point of is a point of local minimum. Now, local minimum value. The local minimum value is f of 0. F of 0 equal to 0 square equal to 0. So, 0 is a local minimum value. Now, let me take another subdivision, third one. So, second one is very easy for you to solve this. So, I leave this problem as your homework. Now, consider the third subdivision. Third subdivision, h of x equal to sin x plus cos x, such that x is greater than 0, less than pi by 2. So, the range of x is in the first quadrant. Now, according to our working rule, we have to differentiate once first. So, h dash of x equal to cos x minus sin x. Sin x, differentiating sin x is cos x and cos x is minus sin x. Now, equating h dash of x equal to 0, we have cos x minus sin x equal to 0. This means cos x equal to sin x and divided by cos x on both sides, we have tan x equal to 1 and x equal to tan inverse of 1, where the value is pi by 4, which belongs to the interval 0 comma pi by 2. The only critical number is x equal to pi by 4, lies in the interval 0 to pi by 2, and we have to differentiate again. Now, differentiating again, f double dash of, that means h double dash of x equal to, here cos x becomes minus sin x and minus sin x is minus cos x. Now, substituting the critical number in this, h double dash of pi by 4 equal to minus sin pi by 4 minus cos pi by 4, which is equal to minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 is less than 0. Both are negative quantities. So, sum of these both negative quantities is also again a negative quantity, therefore, it is less than 0. Therefore, the critical number x equal to 5 by 4 is a point of local maximum. Hence, the local maximum value is h of pi by 4 equal to sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4 equal to 1 by root 2 by 1 plus 1 by root 2 equal to root 2. 2 by root 2 is again root 2. Therefore, the local maximum value is root 2 attained at pi by 4. And let me go to the fifth one is, I am giving fourth and fifth are, I hope, easy. So, you can solve this, and if you have any doubt you can contact us. So, let me go to the subdivision 6. Now, sixth one, g of x equal to x by 2 plus 2 by x, such that x is greater than 0. X is a positive quantity. Now differentiate first. We have 1 by 2 minus 2 by x square. That means differentiating x is 1, the denominator constant comes as it is, and also the numerator constant also comes as it is. 1 by x, differentiating 1 by x becomes minus 1 by x square. Now put g dash of x equal to 0 for critical number, so that 1 by 2 minus 2 by x square equal to 0. Now 2 by x square equal to 1 by 2, which gives x square equal to 4, or x equal to plus or minus 2. But we are given as x is greater than 0. Therefore, the only critical number is x equal to 2, which is a positive quantity. Now we need to find whether the x equal to 2 is a local maximum or minimum. Now we have to differentiate again. Now g double dash of x equal to 1 by 2 is purely a constant 0, and minus becomes plus, 2 2s are 4 by x cube, the shortcut of differentiation. Now which will be definitely greater than 0 for x equal to 2. That means when you substitute 2, it will be 2 cube 8, 4 by 8 equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is a positive quantity for x equal to 2. Therefore, x equal to 2 is a point of local minimum. Now local minimum value, therefore local minimum value obtained at f g of 2, that is equal to 2 by 2 plus 2 by 2 equal to 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So 2 is a local minimum value. Now let me choose another one. So 7th subdivision I am giving you as a homework. Let me go to 8th subdivision straight away. Eighth subdivision. We are given f of x equal to x into root of 1 minus x, such that x lies in the interval 0 to 1 in the open interval. Now according to the rule, find f dash of x. Now it is in the form of u into v. This is product of two functions. So u into v dash, that means minus 1 by root of 2 into root of 1 minus x square. That is differentiating root x, it will become 1 by 2 into root x, 1 by 2 into root x. X means 1 minus x, and differentiating again the function, we have minus 1, so it is minus 1 plus v into u dash. Now u into v dash, again v into u dash, that is root of 1 minus x into 1. So this can be written as root of 1 minus x. The negative quantity I am taking to the right, so minus x by 2 into root of 1 minus x. So we have to simplify for taking f dash of where we need to find the where the for what values of x f dash of x equal to 0. So now let us take LCM, that is 2 into root of 1 minus x. Now 2 into 1 minus x minus x, that is equal to 2 minus 2x minus x divided by 2 into root of 1 minus x, that is equal to 2 minus 3x divided by 2 into root of 1 minus x. This is f dash of x. Put f dash of x equal to 0, which gives the numerator. If a fraction is 0, clearly the numerator is 0. Accordingly, it is 2 minus 3x equal to 0. We have x equal to 2 by 3 plus 2 minus 2 and minus 3. So, x equal to 2 by 3. So, the only critical number is x equal to 2 by 3 where the derivative is 0. Now, we need to examine whether it is maximum or minimum, the point of maximum or minimum. Now, differentiating again, we have f double dash of x equal to, this is in the form of u by v. Now, u by v the whole dash equal to u by v the whole dash equal to v into u dash minus u into v dash by v square. Accordingly, v square means, so let us take this denominator as constant. So, 1 by 2 take as a common and differentiate the remaining part, that is this one. So, denominator is v square is 1 minus x and v into u dash, v means root of 1 minus x into u dash is 0 into minus 3 and minus of u into v dash, u means 2 minus 3x, again differentiating the denominator into minus 1 by 2 into root of 1 minus x, 2 into root of 1 minus x, that is equal to 1 by 2 into, now taking LCM, the denominator is 1 minus x, in the numerator itself we have to make it as a fraction, that is 2 into root of 1 minus x is a LCM and 2 into this one, root of 1 minus x into root of 1 minus 1 minus x, again into minus 3 equal to minus 6, 2 into minus 3 minus 6 into root cancel, and now this minus 1 into minus plus into 2 plus 2 minus 3x. So, the numerator itself a fraction, so make it denominator as a fraction, that is 1 by 2 into again 2 into 1 minus x into root of 1 minus x. Now, the numerator is minus 6 plus 6x plus 2 minus 3x. Now, f double dash of x equal to 4. I am multiplying 1 by 2 with the denominator, I mean 2 into with the denominator, 4 into 1 minus x into root of 1 minus x, and the numerator becomes 6x minus 3x equal to 3x and minus 4 plus 2 equal to minus 4. So, now we need to find what the nature of f double dash of x, whether positive or negative, for the value x equal to 2 by 3. Now, f double dash of 2 by 3 equal to 3 into 2 by 3 equal to 3 into 2 by 3 equal to 2 minus 4 divided by 4 into, that is 1 minus 2 by 3 into root of 1 minus 2 by 3, which is equal to minus 2 divided by 4 into 3 minus 2 1 by 3 into root of 1 by 3, which is less than 0, because the entire denominator is positive and the numerator is negative. Therefore, f double dash of x is less than 0. Therefore, the critical number x equal to 2 by 3 therefore, the critical number x equal to 2 by 3 is a point of local maximum, Now, the local maximum value, So now f of 2 by 3 equal to x 2 by 3 into root of 1 minus 2 by 3. That is equal to 2 by 3 into root of 1 by 3. 1 by 3. That means 2 divided by 3 into root 3. Now rationalizing the denominator, we have 2 by 3 into root 3 into root 3 by root 3, which is equal to 2 root 3 by 9. Hence the local maximum value is 2 root 3 by 9 attained at x equal to 2 by 3. That's all. Thank you very much. Now question number 4. Prove that the following functions do not have maxima or minima. In the theorem we have studied, in the second derivative test, there are two conditions. The first one is dy by dx or f dash of x, that is first derivative must be 0. Then only we can substitute the critical number by putting or f dash of x equal to 0 in the second derivative. Then only we can find that local, that is the point of the point is either local minima or local maxima. Now let us examine. They also prove that, therefore we need to find whether critical number exists or not. Now question number 4, first subdivision, f of x equal to e power x. Now differentiating once f dash of x is also e power x. We know that e power x is always positive, that is greater than 0. Therefore we don't have any critical number. There exists no critical number for the function f of x equal to e power x. Therefore the function attains no maximum or no minimum, because e power x is 0 only when e power minus x equal to minus infinity. That is only when x equal to minus infinity we have e power minus infinity becomes 0. So it is not possible to take minus infinity as a critical number. Therefore the function does not have local maximum and local minimum. Similarly, second one, g of x equal to log x. Second one, g of x equal to log x. Now differentiating, g dash of x equal to 1 by x. How can you say g of x equal to 0 for some values of x? So it is impossible, which is also greater than 0 in 0 comma infinitive. Therefore there is no critical number again. Hence we can't say there is no maximum or no minimum for the function log of x. The third one, h of x equal to x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. Now differentiate, h dash of x equal to 3x square plus 2x plus 1. So I think it is not possible to factorize this function. So let us use quadratic formula to find the roots of x, the quadratic equation. Now we know that x equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Here a equal to 3, b equal to 2 and c equal to 1. Therefore x equal to minus b minus 2 plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac means 12 divided by 2a means 6, that is minus 2 plus or minus root 8, that is root of minus 8. This part is 4 minus 12 equal to root of minus 8, which is equal to 2 root 2 into I. So this is plus or minus 2 root 2 into I divided by 6. So it gives imaginary roots. There occurs no real value, since when h dash of x equal to 0, x yields only imaginary roots. Therefore we have no critical numbers, real critical numbers, and hence the function do not have maxima or minima. Now question number 5 is finding the absolute maximum. So it will be taught later, and let us go to the sixth one. Sixth one is a second derivative test. Now let us solve the problem number 6. Find the maximum profit that a company can make if the profit function is given by. Now p of x, that is profit function, p of x equal to 41 minus 72x minus 18x square. So we can find the maximum profit by using second derivative test. Now p dash of x equal to minus 72 minus 36x. For maximum or minimum, put p dash of x equal to 0. Therefore minus 72 minus 36x equal to 0, which gives x equal to 72 by minus 36 equal to minus 2. Now the critical number is x equal to minus 2. Now differentiating again. We have p double dash of x equal to minus 36, which is a negative quantity, that is p double dash of x is less than 0. Therefore the profit is maximum when x equal to minus 2. Now the maximum profit is p of minus 2, obtained by substituting x equal to minus 2 only we can get the maximum profit. P of minus 2 equal to 41 minus 72 into minus 2 and minus 18 into minus 2 the whole square. So simplify this, the value obtained here is a maximum profit. Thank you very much. Now question number 7 to 12, we can solve those problems using first derivative test. It will be taught later. Let us straight away go to the problem number 13. Question number 13. Find the two numbers whose sum is 24 and whose product is as large as possible. Find the two numbers whose sum is 24 and their product is as large as possible. Let the two numbers be x and y. Their sum is 24, given their sum is 24, therefore x plus y equal to 24. From this we can eliminate one variable, that is y equal to 24 minus x. Now given that the product is maximum, let p be the product of the numbers. Therefore product equal to x into y, that means x into, substitute the value of y, which is equal to 24 minus x equal to 24x minus x square. So we need to find the value of x and y so that the product is maximum. Now differentiating once, p equal to 24 minus 2x. For maximum or minimum, we need to put p dash of x equal to 0. Therefore, 24 minus 2x equal to 0 or 2x equal to 24, x equal to 12. Now, we need to find whether it is maximum or minimum. Differentiate again. Differentiating again. P double dash of x equal to minus 2, which is less than 0. Therefore, the product is maximum when x equal to 12. Now, we need to find the value of y. Now, when x equal to 12, we have y equal to 24 minus 12 equal to 12. Therefore, the required numbers are 12 comma 12. Here, one thing you have to understand. Now, 1 plus 23 equal to 24, 2 plus 22 equal to 24, and the product of these two is 23, 44. Likewise, 3 plus 21 is also 24, and the product is 63. And this is the only two numbers. This is the possible of the pair of two numbers 12 and 12 whose sum is 24 and the product is maximum. Here the product is 12 into 12, 144. 144 is the maximum value of obtaining by multiplying two numbers and whose sum is 24. Thank you. Now, question number 14, 15, 16 are of same type. So, in the 14, two positive numbers x and y both are positive such that their sum is 60 and x y cube is maximum. Similarly, in the 15th also we require to find the two positive numbers x and y such that their sum and product condition is given. So, the same way I hope you can solve these problems 14, 15, 16. Now, if you are not able to solve it easily or if you want assistance, please contact us. We will definitely help you. Thank you very much.